I've been out here 13 years. This has never happened. I've never seen anyone get shot and killed in front of me like this. My neighbors came out. Some neighbors tried to go down and see, could they assist, and there was nothing that they could do. She was already gone.
Fridelene Daniel, a dedicated caregiver in Boynton Beach, Florida, found herself entangled in a nightmare when her ex-boyfriend, RobensCesar, allegedly gunned her down in the parking lot of her apartment complex. The events leading up to this tragic incident paint a harrowing picture of stalking, harassment, and ultimately fatal consequences. Approximately 45 minutes before her untimely demise, Fridelene Daniel took a brave step by visiting the Boynton Beach Police Department to file a report against RobensCesar, accusing him of relentless stalking and harassment. She sought refuge in the arms of the law, seeking protection from the very person who should have cherished her. In her report, Fridelene detailed the numerous instances of stalking and harassment she had endured at the hands of Cesar. She recounted how he would constantly follow her, showing up uninvited at her workplace, and even sending her threatening messages. The fear and anxiety she experienced were palpable, as she described the constant feeling of being watched and the dread of what Cesar might do next. According to authorities, Cesar allegedly followed Daniel to the police station and was present when she filed the complaint. As she returned from the police department, Fridelene's worst fears materialized when Cesar allegedly followed her to the apartment complex. In a heart-wrenching moment captured over the phone, Fridelene Daniel was reportedly on the phone with her aunt in Haiti. She could be heard expressing her horror at the sight of Cesar with a gun, allegedly saying to her ex-boyfriend Cesar, "Oh, did you bring a gun to kill me?" Moments before she was fatally shot. Her family, both near and far, could only listen helplessly as their beloved Fridelene's life was taken away in a senseless act of violence. The sound of Fridelene's voice, filled with terror and desperation, serves as a haunting reminder of the danger she faced and the urgency of her situation. It is a chilling testament to the devastating impact of domestic violence and the dire need for swift and effective intervention. Boynton Beach police officers were called shortly before 9 a.m. to the Meadows on the Green apartment complex for a woman being shot. 911 callers said they saw a black Honda leaving the area. When officers arrived at the apartment complex, they found the woman, later identified as 34-year-old Fridelene Daniel, dead in the parking lot from multiple gunshot wounds. Officers found several spent shell casings near her body. Surveillance and body camera footage showed Cesar was wearing a blue-gray t-shirt, green shorts, and had his dreadlocks pulled back in a ponytail, according to the affidavit. Surveillance video from the apartment complex showed a man fitting Cesar's description get into a Honda and drive away around the time of the shooting. Detectives discovered that Cesar drove a 2008 black Honda. Law enforcement swiftly located Cesar at a home about 4 miles away and arrested him. 41-year-old Cesar allegedly admitted to the crime during an interview with detectives. He said the two had broken up, and he was trying to convince her to get back together with him, but she refused, the affidavit said. Cesar stated he couldn't stand to see Fridelene with another man, according to the affidavit. Cesar stated Fridelene reporting him to the police earlier in the day was the final straw, and he shot her. His chilling confession revealed a turbulent relationship marred by a refusal to accept rejection, culminating in a fatal act driven by possessiveness and a sense of entitlement. Cesar's confession provided a glimpse into the twisted mindset that fueled his violent actions. It shed light on the toxic dynamics that existed between him and Fridelene, showcasing the dangerous consequences of an obsession gone unchecked. His admission of guilt further solidified the evidence against him, ensuring that justice would be served for Fridelene's untimely death. Cesar's callous and senseless acts resulted in his remand into custody, denied bail on a first-degree murder charge.
All right, good morning. You RobensCesar, sir? Very well. This is Mr. Prince, a first-degree murder charge relative to a female acquaintance. Very well. So don't have any contact with any family members of the deceased, please. And an invocation of right to counsel essentially means, again, that you are not to talk to anybody. Phone, including jail phone. We've got a case coming up, or already had a case regarding jail phone contacts that were not appropriate. Also, any deputies in the back, no matter how kindly they treat you, don't speak to any cellmates about the case. The only one you should be speaking to about this case, the only person, is your lawyer. Do you understand? Sir.
Questions linger about the events that transpired at the police station. The lingering uncertainty surrounding the response to Fridelene's plea for help casts a shadow over the tragic loss of a life that sought refuge in the arms of the law. People wonder if there were any red flags that should have prompted a more urgent and thorough investigation. They question whether the police department could have done more to protect Fridelene and prevent this horrific outcome. The unanswered questions serve as a reminder of the importance of accountability and the need for continuous improvement in addressing cases of domestic violence. In a press release following the incident, the Boynton Beach Police Department said they'd launched an internal affairs investigation. Boynton Beach Police Department's internal affairs investigation aimed to scrutinize the handling of Daniel's complaint against Cesar. The officer who received her report was subsequently placed on administrative leave pending an investigation, shedding light on the potential systemic oversights that may have contributed to this devastating outcome. The investigation delved into the actions taken, or perhaps not taken, by the police department in response to Fridelene's plea for help. It examined whether proper protocols were followed, whether any warning signs were missed, and whether there were any opportunities for intervention that were overlooked. The goal is to identify any shortcomings in the system and prevent similar tragedies from occurring in the future. Neighbors told the local news outlets that they heard a barrage of gunfire.
I heard a bunch of gunshots. I've been out here 13 years. This has never happened. I've never seen anyone get shot and killed in front of me like this. My neighbors came out. Some neighbors tried to go down and see, could they assist, and there was nothing that they could do. She was already gone.
It's frightening in your own backyard. It's really horrific to see.
It was like boom, boom, and then it was a brief, maybe like 2-second pause, I want to say, and 3 or 4 more. We just kind of froze there for a moment, neighbor Don Rosado said.
We didn't know if children were walking to school, if they were caught in the gunfire, in between. Because some children, they go to school late, and that was our concern, were there children involved?
The tragic case of Fridelene Daniel and RobensCesar serves as a poignant reminder of the insidious nature of domestic violence and the critical importance of effective intervention and protection for those vulnerable to such harm. Fridelene's life was tragically cut short, but her story stands as a stark call to action, urging society to confront and prevent such senseless tragedies in the future. RobensCesar awaits trial without bond on a charge of first-degree murder in a small cell at the Palm Beach County Jail.